Mr. Trouble never hangs around when he hears this mighty sound.
Here I come to save the day.
That means that Mighty Mouse is on the way. Yes, sir, when there is a wrong to right, Mighty Mouse will join the fight. On the sea or on the land, he gets the situation well in hand.
So though we are in danger, we never despair, 'cause we know that where there's danger, he is there.
He is there on the land, on the sea, in the air. We're not worrying at all. We're just listening for his call.
Here I come to save the day.
That means that Mighty Mouse is on the way. We're not worrying at all. We're just listening for his call.
Here I come to save the day.
That means that Mighty Mouse is on the way.
Elevenish.
Good morning, everybody. I'm doing a recording, saving this locally on Blab, and also saving it locally. I have to double check there that I had it. Recording locally. Yes, awesome. Good. Hello. Good morning. How are you? It is 11 o'clock. I do 11ish every morning, even if there's an audience or not. I know my usual supporter, Megan, is at a job thing this morning, so hope it goes well, Megan. I know you're really worried about that lush job, etc., etc. I have had coffee this morning. I've also been out for a walk this morning. Like, I had to do it. My chest was getting so bad. I was really worried about how my chest was going to be for doing Udemy stuff over the next couple of days. But I went for a walk this morning, and it kind of just re-energized me in terms of clearing out my head and just getting myself together. I had to go through a number of steps this morning to get this to work, and I do it pretty much every day. Every day I do 11ish, Monday to Friday. And I just wanted to go over those steps real quick because it's actually quite a lot of hassle behind the scenes. Just looking at this, by the way, I'm noticing that my upload that I need is about 70 kps to upload to Blab. So that's not actually that's not a lot to upstream, really. I'm not sure if it's going to be laggy or not. It looks a little bit out of sync. Hopefully I'm not out of sync on the actual recording, but yeah. What percentage you got? 54% in Wirecast, so we'll leave it with that anyway. So yeah, the steps I went into this morning, I run a little app on my Mac called Webcam Settings, which helps me tune the camera. Then I also rebooted my iPad because I tether to my iPad on 4G, so I'm connected via 4G. And I rebooted that because I get a problem where if I leave it on, for some reason it kind of rate limits me down to like 1 meg up and 1 meg down. So I totally reboot the connection to get a good 8 meg up and 8 meg down. Just that breathing room is really helpful to make sure that, you know, the stream goes out and I can actually stream stuff. Also then I had the same problem this morning about scheduling Blabs. Even though I put the schedules in because I want other people to know about it and subscribe to it, when I actually come to do the show, the button for recording is not there. I have no idea what that problem is. Everybody's kind of telling me that it's not a problem and it's, you know, it's all right. And once you start the show, it pops up. Not seeing that. I'm sorry, but I'm just not seeing that. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I'm also getting messages now through from Slack, so I'm just going to come off that for a second. Yeah, so I do that. So I reboot the iPad so I can get a decent tethered connection. And then this morning, I also do, what I do is test a Blab test stream to make sure that my Wirecast works. And there's a bit of a glitch with virtual camera outs, and it may be just because I've updated to El Capitan, but the virtual camera out, if I have it as HD 1080p and then start it and then go into Blab, I get some crazy stuff happen. Sometimes it can take the whole browser out. So if you've scheduled the thing and then you go into that scheduled thing and then it crashes, then you lose it. And anybody who was who's subscribed to it, it kills it off. So dead unprofessional, doesn't look good. So I found that if I switch it to HD 720 and stop and start and then reload the browser, that kind of works. But I'm not sure if it's a bug with Wirecast or it's an El Capitan thing or if it's just something weird in the selection process of that. I'm not quite sure what it is, but that's another step that I go through. And I always run a test stream first to make sure that my video can show up in the actual window on Blab. So don't schedule anything. If you're going to do like mission critical stuff and you're kind of streaming to a conference, don't like rely on that scheduling thing. Make sure that you do a test Blab, and don't broadcast to your group of people who follow you. It asks you if you can broadcast to a group of people. Just say no to that, just to make sure that your video and audio come into Blab, because I've had situations where you just get a spinning like icon and then you just don't see anything. So bit of a tip there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I do in the morning. I do a speed check. I do speedtest.net to make sure that the internet connectivity. Also, you might have noticed behind me, there's like you can see stuff today. So the reason why is that I've got my internet, my 4G iPad, up in the space in the ceiling, because over there for some reason in the window where it used to do 4G, it no longer does it. These are the things that you have problems with when you're literally in a field, away from the masses, in the countryside. You have to literally find the pockets of 4G. If you look at a map, if you look at a coverage map for connectivity, there's literally smatterings of 4G around here, but there's like a bit in this field and a bit in this field. Where I am, I'm literally on the edge of some connectivity at all, let alone 3G or 4G. It's just sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't, and it kind of shifts, and I have no idea why. The weather, I don't know what it is, but like in summer it was amazing, but like now it's starting to get rough again. So I'm tethering through the iPad, and the iPad's got pretty up-to-date, like 4G LTE support. I'd be better off with the new iPhone 6s, not just because it's like the latest and greatest, but it supports more 4G LTE networks and has better chipset. That's another thing about upgrading to the latest device, is that you do get an upgraded chipset which is more sensitive, picks up signals better, brings it in better, transmits better. And also, if you were roaming with that around the world, that's why I think the 6S is a perfect video blogger's phone, because it's just got that such awesome camera in there, and it supports more 4G networks around the world. So if you go to somewhere with a 4G SIM, put that in, you're pretty much going to get LTE wherever you go. What else do I want to talk about today? What am I on now? I'm on 7 minutes. All right, I've got like 30 minutes left. So I've got an interview in a couple of weeks' time. Probably, I don't know if it's next week actually. Where am I? 19th. So I think it's on the 27th. It's kind of an interview. It's a get together to have a discussion about work and jobs and if we can work together. And I got asked if I want a job, and I said yes, and they said, oh, we'll pay for your travel to come down. So could be cool. I'd really like the job. I think it'd be perfect for me in where I've come from, where I'm going to. So that's kind of down south. I've got to head down for that on the train. What else did happen over the weekend? I pushed the first episode of the BI Farm podcast, which I got my daughter to record the script that Dale did in our little Team Humble group, which is teamhumble.slack.com. If you want to join, get in touch, let me know, and I will add you in there. Good morning, David. David's just joined into the chat on the side. This is a recorded show, David, so don't worry about interacting. It's just I record it, so it's scheduled and recorded on Blab, and then I also put it up to YouTube. Yeah, so that's cool. The BI Farm podcast is live. I think it's if you do a search on soundcloud.com/beehivefarm, you'll find it. I can't remember the URL. It was either the-beehivefarm or beehivefarm. I can never remember. This morning I've been sort of job searching for some temporary work for van driving. I've been looking at van driving because obviously there's a lot more people selling stuff like the eBay stuff and, you know, home builders, makers. And I found a job in Nottinghamshire where they need a driver for X amount of hours a day. It's a 4-week contract, and that'll suit me down to the ground if something like that comes off. So I've been looking around for temporary jobs that are only like a month long, so I can build up some funds to go to New York City in the first week of December. We've got a GoFundMe running, which is gofundme.com/HumbleNYC. And that is 4 of us going to New York City for a week to go and help out in as many soup kitchens across New York as possible. And we're going to be periscoping and giving out free vouchers for a Udemy course about digital nomads and basically helping people relearn skills on public Wi-Fi, so the local library, if they're either unemployed or homeless. I know that's probably not their highest priority because obviously it's the survival of, you know, being out on the streets and keeping warm and keeping fed and keeping like fluids in your body. But I also think that there's going to be times in the day where you've literally got nothing to do, and we're going to go and check out and see where the public Wi-Fi is, see if there's any awkwardness in using that public Wi-Fi. Do you have to pay like coffee in these places, in certain places? Do they not want homeless people in there? You know, like we're going to literally look at all those different details. So desperate to try and get money together for that. If anybody can donate or retweet it or share it, that would be amazing. Next 2 days, 24 hours sprint. So I'm starting at 12 o'clock till probably 10 o'clock tonight, and then tomorrow, a long day tomorrow as well. I've got my first paid course that I'm working on. It's 110 lectures, and I'm putting it at about 100 quid, but I'm going to reduce it down because that's the way that Udemy does it. And I'm really looking forward to pushing this course because November it's Black Friday, and I've been back and forth with the Udemy team and also the UK marketing Udemy team, and I'm hoping that I'm going to get selected in the top 10. I would really love that push to get started. It's kind of when you can really get your sites and your courses off the ground in November, because everybody's, you know, really pushing to get Black Friday, which is like a big online event, especially in America. Not so much in Europe, but definitely in America. So I'm really working hard on that. I'm hoping to get that finished this week. I should have finished, or at least had half of it done by last week. Last week was a complete write-off. I'm not having that this week. I've got to literally smash that. And then Wednesday, I'm going to my second physio. So I've just noticed this, the frame rate drops down on this. I'm not quite sure why that is. Maybe just the ProRes codec. I think there's a problem with Wirecast and El Capitan, but I can't really work out what the deal is with that. But I got my second physio on Wednesday. The swelling has gone down a lot more. I feel like I've got more strength in it, actually more power in it, and we'll be testing that on Wednesday. It still twinges when I sort of move it at certain angles. They measure the angles on it as well, like left, right, forward, up and down, but also the strength. I think this was like 28 to 30. I'm not even sure what the measurement is, but it was like square pounds per inch maybe. And then this was 9. So anything more than that would be amazing. And they've told me that it has to be 40% of a power of this one before I could even go thinking about picking up really heavy stuff with this. So that's on Wednesday. Then Thursday I've got an open day at a work fair. So I'm looking to see if they've got any temporary work there. They're the people who've got the van job actually. So I'm interested in doing that. I'll do anything at the minute. I'm literally off work now for 7.5 weeks with my wrist, and even though I've got the brace off it and using it, you know, I can't really do super heavy work, but I'm looking to get a sort of temporary contract for 4 weeks, and then if I get that, then I'll be all set for going over to New York in early December. That's pretty much it for today. Coming up to 13 minutes. The second open day job, December getting closer. I am very concerned about December. I'm very concerned about how we get things sorted in terms of money, but people, logistics. I know it's probably going to take up a lot more time in terms of sorting out getting people's flights. And I know that I'm probably going to be working November, temporary work in November, to make sure that I've got enough money to chuck it into the fund to get us going, really. We've got like 3 people from we've got somebody from Ireland, somebody from Scotland, and somebody from England. We've got like the whole British Isles covered. And I've got to, logistically, we're going to get all those people together in one airport at the same time to get on the same flight to get over there. There's an Airbnb to sort, which should be straightforward as long as we can raise the money for that. I think we need a dedicated fundraiser just for that. And yeah, it's a lot of work. Between now and the end of this month, I've got to have 2 courses up. And that is the paid course and the free course for the digital nomads, the kind of homeless course. All of that's got to be done. So it's just pure grit and determination for this month. And I don't know why my chest infection has come back from, but I think it's just because of lack of exercise and being in the caravan and rebreathing the same air, and just this whole caravan could do with like a deep clean detox, because I've been like literally living in it for forever. It feels like. So yeah. That's the deal for Monday. I'm very Monday-ish, but I'm determined today. I recommend to anybody who's just got up and they're like trying to focus on their day, and it's like, right, I've got to get into this, take a walk. Just get out and just take a 10 or 15 minute walk. It'll serve you like you won't believe. It'll be so much better for you. Right, okay, that's all I really want to talk about today. Coming up to 15 minutes. It was a really quick day today, but I'm going to upload this and crack on. I'm starting at about 12 o'clock. I've got a few things to do in Haiku Deck for the last few sections, And once I've done those, I'm going to record those 10 clips, which are fairly straightforward. I should get them done in about 2 hours, and then start looking at each section bit by bit. So really looking forward to getting that done. I've also got to submit a video for the Udemy bonus points. I think that's due tomorrow, but I'll be back tomorrow at 11 AM. You can get these videos on YouTube as well. If you go to youtube.com/, I think it's R3Wind, but you can also see it on my Twitter page, which is @PhilCampbell. I don't tend to have discussion on these recordings. I just record them to save them to Blab so that people can replay them back. But I also upload the YouTube version later on. And I'm going to start making them a bit more interactive. I've started doing some notes collections of different shows that I can record about. So I've got things like scheduling software, Bitcoin. There's a whole bunch of them. I've got probably about 8 of them at the minute, which I think will be a lot more interesting. But I think I'm going to do that under the moniker of the Gravity, whereas this is just like a breakout at 11 o'clock. 11's is to have tea and biscuits and just chill and catch up with the day. Right, that's it. That's all I want to say today. I will catch up with you soon. Have a great Monday wherever you are in the world. Hopefully it's not too painful. And I will see you tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe to the Blabs. And I will catch up with them. See you later. Bye.